guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a planner video. I am going to show you two options that you will find on my Teachers Pay Teacher store for planners 2016-2017. If you're a new teacher, having a planner is essential. Your administrators are going to be looking for it and you're going to need it. There's going to be so much that you'll have to plan and so many things that you're going to have to do in a given day. Having a place to write all of that down and to have a visual is really going to help you to be the most productive that you can be. So this planner, I feel, combines functionality, productivity, and necessity. You're not going to find anything in this planner that you're not going to need at all. I feel like this is just straightforward, it's to the point, and it's simple. So I didn't want to create too many pages so that you ended up with a bulky, heavy planner. So I just, like I said, I really thought it through and I asked for feedback from my colleagues who used it to figure out what it is I was going to include to meet teacher needs. So some of the things that you might want to consider before purchasing this planner is whether you want to have a binder as a planner or an ARC planner. If you go for the ARC planner, and if you don't know what that is, it looks something like this. It has these rings attached to it and you can't move them and they're plastic, and you can get these in a variety of sizes, but it comes with like a front cover and an end cover as well. The insides you can take off easily and then you can replace with your planner if you decide to use or if you decide to purchase the planner. So this is what it looks like. If you decide to go with the ARC planner, you're going to want to purchase an ARC puncher that looks like this. And it has a bunch of hole punches, but they're not going to come out circular. They're going to come out in this really funky shape. Let me show you. Here's an example of the kind of holes you're going to get. So that's going to make it really easy for you to just like put your page inside of the ARC planner and to pull it out as needed. This year, I went on Amazon looking for another kind of planner. It still requires the ARC hole puncher, but I was like, I really want to display my cover page, the cover page from my planner. And I was on Amazon and I stumbled across this cool Circa planner that had a sheer cover to it. And I really liked it because you could see the front cover of my planner. So let me show you what it looks like. So this is the sheerness of it, and then this is the planner cover that comes with the one that you'll find in my Teachers Pay Teacher store. So the Circa Starter Kit is what it's called, and it's in letter size. They also have a junior size, so be careful and make sure you know which one you're going to order. So this is what it looks like. It's really nice, and you can make it thicker than this, but this is about as thick as my planner is going to get. So right now you're looking at the planner cover. Now this I purchased separately and I will talk about this a little bit later. This is the planner cover and right now you're looking at it in black and white. But if you purchase the planner, it's going to be a zip file and one of the files will be titled planner covers, and you're going to get this in many options of colors. At least the ribbon is going to be in different option colors. I have red, I have navy blue, I have white, and I believe I have another color and I can't remember what it is right now. But it's going to say teacher planner and it's going to say 2016-2017. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is inside. So inside on the first page, you're going to find a personal information page, and I started filling it out, but I'm not going to put all the personal information in yet. I'll do that after the video. And this is a weekly and monthly planner, and it says it right there, so you'll know what you're going to be looking at when you get it. When you open up the next page, you're going to find the account information page. Now I was going back and forth between whether I wanted to do a 1-pager or 2-pager, and I realized that I had already filled up the first page with just some of my account information. Once I get back into school, I know that they're going to introduce more applications, more websites. So I was like, let's go ahead and put in another page. So that's why there are 2 pages. And obviously after the video, I will fill this part in, but the UN is for username, PW is for password, and then the application line, you'll just put the name of the program or application that you are putting it in. And sometimes what I like to do, guys, is for my password, I like to put like the first letter of the password and the last letter of the password, and then leave the in between, just I'll put dots, or I'll put a dash in the middle, so that way if this planner were to get lost, they still would not be able to figure out the password, but at least knowing the first and last letter, I can figure out what the password was in the first place. When you open up to the next page is the dismissal arrangement. Now this required a 2-page setup, and let me just give you a quick overview of it. Now, these little boxes are for you to write your student names in. You can use up the whole line, or you can divide the box and, you know, have 2 columns. If one of the buses is like really kid heavy, you could do that. And then the line here is for you to write the number of the bus. And sometimes the buses are associated with a color. So I decided to put a little dot here, and you could color in or color code with the color of the bus, or you could just write the name of the color of the bus right here. It's up to you, but I wanted to leave that as an option. You might be wondering about this box here. This one said Kiss and Ride. That's how we call our car station. We call it Kiss and Ride. So for any car riders, you know, you would write their names over here, daycare, and if there's any kind of other arrangement, you would want to write those names down here and write the title up here. The next page is one of the pages that I really wasn't going to put in, but I was like, I should. It's the medical emergency information, and it's also the year at a glance. And the year at a glance is going to look a little funny. So it's not going to be like January through December 2016, and then the other section is January through December 2017. This is, I should have titled it School Year at a Glance, but you'll have August 2016 all the way up until the very end. You'll notice that it'll be July 2017. So this is the school year at a glance. The other section, this medical emergency this medical emergency information. I've been watching Jersey Shore reruns. Unbelievable, right? I'm sorry. So anyway, this medical emergency information, I decided to put that in there because I really don't have another spot to put this. Like, I feel like this is just such a random sheet of paper, and I didn't really know where to put it. I mean, I don't want to put it in a single file folder, you know, just one sheeter. So I was like, let me just put this part of the planner, and I gave you 10 boxes because I figured it's not likely that you'll have more than 10 children that have medical concerns. It's usually like a handful of them, maybe less. But just in case, I gave you 10. If for any reason you were to need more, you could go back to the zip file and you could just print out this page as many times as you need it. Okay, so this is going to be your month at a glance. I'm just going to give you a quick overview. This month at a glance looks very different from your typical planner. I decided to purposely leave out Saturday and Sunday because I don't think a lot goes on Saturday and Sunday as far as our teacher lives are concerned. Sometimes, and I'm guilty of this, I will go into school on a Saturday or a Sunday and tidy up or get something ready if it was like a very overwhelming and long week and I didn't get to something, but that rarely happens. And even if I do that, I find that I put it in a personal planner. So I purposely left that out to give us more room, because sometimes in a given day we have so much going on and we need to have that space to be able to write it through. Like right now, obviously nothing's going on, but once the months start to roll in, you're going to find that you're going to have maybe 2 meetings in one day, and then it's like an after school event, and you're going to want space to write all of that in. So that's why I did that. I wanted to give you more space. Now, for some reason you just wanted to use Saturday and Sunday, and you really want to pencil it in this planner, under the notes section right over here, I gave you some lines so that you could write it in. But really my thought process was that it's not really typical for us to have some school event on Saturday and Sunday frequently. It's usually every once in a while. Now these dates, and one of the features of my planner is that I have the dates written, so you don't have to worry about writing the dates in. I double checked, I triple checked, and all the dates are accurate. So you're going to get the month, the year, and the day of the week, as well as the actual date. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you the week at a glance, and I'm going to skip over a few weeks because I started filling my planner out for the Plan With Me video that's coming up. This is the week at a glance view. Typically, you might find that the days of the week are written going across so that you can plan for your day going down the column. But in this planner, I decided to put the days of the week going down so that you could plan for your day going across the row, because I really needed to fit in this section. This to-do list section for each day was not going to fit going the other way around, because I have that, I had the heading for the date and the goal up there, so there was nowhere else to put it, and I needed that. And talking to some of my colleagues who use the planner, one of them said that the to-do list was a really good idea and that they liked it, so I didn't want to get rid of it. I didn't write the subjects at the top because I didn't want to give you or write subjects that you wouldn't be able to edit. So one of the things that you'll find on this week at a glance, again, is the month and the year. And on this side, I decided to write goal. Now, every week in our county, we have what we call the unifying question. So for me, the unifying question of the week is going to go up there. Down below is what I like to call the reminder hub. This reminder hub, I love it. Now, I really wish it would have looked like the other reminder hub, and I'll show you that if I haven't already. But I couldn't do without this. I loved this. So this is something that I came up with in the other version of the planner. And so when you have an event, you would fill this out. You would check off your box, and this MTWTF, it seemed like a lot of people had no clue what this was, but it stood for the days of the week. And for the event, you would circle the day of the week it was going to take place. You would write the name of the event, and after the @ symbol, you would write the time. So that's what I figured. If you decide to purchase this planner, you are also, within the zip file, you will find a freebie that I have in my store, that I'm actually selling in my store, and it's this page. So it's supposed to be a full page, and you can use it like this if you want. But what I do is I fold it in half, because this serves as like a bookmark almost. I loved using these last year because I found that it was easy to open up to that week knowing where this was. And I use this every single week. I would fill it up and I would just be so excited to check everything off that I was getting completed, and it was such a fulfilling type of feeling. So this is going to be in there. So you have a section for your to-dos. You have a section, and I fixed this, guys, so you're not going to see this like half line here. I apologize that it's showing up here. I had already printed it out, so I didn't want to waste paper. But this line is complete. You're going to have a to print or copy section, a notes section, and if you need to make phone calls that week or email or other, you would write it here. You would write the kid's name if it's a student. On the back, this is the hub I was talking about that is in my other planner. And because the hub here is so much smaller, I was like, let me just include it in this one. So it's called Reminders. And this is what I couldn't fit in this planner. You have a section for meeting, conferences, after school event, assembly, celebration, and field trip. Again, you would circle the day of the week that it's going to take place. You would write the name of the event and the time that it is going to take place. In this section, what I used this for was when I started thinking about what I was going to do next week as far as plans, or if I was in my collaborative meeting and we talked about what we were going to do for the upcoming week, I would jot it down here so I could remember to start pulling out resources. What you'll notice about the planner is that it does not come with tabs. This is a PDF file, so tabs weren't really an option because you're using printer paper to print these out. So what you could do is, which is an option that I thought of over the summer when I used this planner for summer school, was purchase these clip tabs, and they have many versions of tabs that you could purchase, but I really like these because they're very sturdy and durable, and they come in 3 different colors. So let's just say that I'm in the middle of September and I need to flip back to the previous month to see if we had some kind of a meeting or event that I may have forgotten about. So I use this tab over up here to open it up. And let's go back to September. Let's say I need to go ahead to the upcoming month because there might be something planned and I don't want to, have any conflicting plans. I could use the tab to open up to that month. Whoops, that's not the month. This is the month right here, right? And so I don't have like a tab heavy planner. I have 2 planners, one that will be placed on the previous month. I could even put one on the current month and one on the upcoming month. So it's really up to you, but I really like this idea because you don't have these tabs that are like in the way, and I don't find that I use those tabs unless I'm on that particular month. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that there was that option where you could go ahead and purchase those clip tabs. And that's basically what the rest of the planner looks like. It's the same throughout. At the very end, you'll notice that I put in a notes page, and you can make multiple copies of these and put those in there. Like if you're at a staff meeting and you think of things that you need to do for the day during like a break time or before the meeting or after the meeting, you could write it there. Any notes for the meeting, you could write it here, and down below you could just write some questions that you want to ask for the meeting or after the meeting. This was a file folder that I converted into an actual pocket folder, and you'll notice that it has a slit going across. So I'm going to take this one out. This doesn't really go with my planner, and I was going to put a new one in, but I wanted to show you what it looked like. So you could, if your planner doesn't have pockets, you can make some for yourself. So with this kind of planner, you have the option of turning the page completely over to the other side. And I love this because these are plastic. They're not those like metallic or spiral rings that get stuck to everything and that like come undone eventually. So I really, really like this planner. So here's the overview of the second version of my planner. So in this planner, you're going to get the exact same first few pages. The difference is that the layout is different. You'll have a section where you can just jot down any notes and a to-do section. So now I'm going to show you how I used to use this last year. This is the version that I began using last year to show you that you can use this for planning purposes. What I loved about this planner is that I had the reminder section right there. I loved it. And I still do, which is why I put it in that half sheeter that I showed you in the other planner. And then you'll see that in this side, I have next week and a space to write those goals or those plans for the upcoming week. It also works with a binder. So this is just the same planner that I showed you. I gave you that walkthrough. It's the same one, but I just wanted you to see how it would look in a binder. Now, if you wanted to use a big binder, this could be cool. Like, I didn't think about this until recently, but if you wanted to use a big binder, you could put your entire planner in here, and then you could use dividers, like actual dividers. And you could, and I have these at my store, but this idea came to me and I was like, whoa, this is actually a pretty neat idea to save up space and how many folders and binders you're juggling around. You could put a communication log section and a parent contact form. So I have these forms in another binder. It's my student data binder. But if you wanted to use a big binder for your teacher planner, you could put your teacher planner in there and then use a divider and have a section for the parent contact forms, file it in ABC order, and then put this in another section. It's supposed to be this way, and put this in another section, and this would be one for each student. So next to communication log, you would write the student's name, and then this is just a log for that particular student, and you would make multiple copies of this. For printing purposes and for the sake of not wasting paper, make sure you double check your settings. The paper position should be on portrait, not on landscape. Make sure that it's set for double-sided printing, and also make sure that it's set for color printing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you get the most out of this planner if you decide to purchase it. Coming up next is going to be my Plan With Me video for the first few days of the first week of school. I'll see you guys then. Bye! Thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment down below and don't forget to click the subscribe button. I also have a Teachers Pay Teacher store and a blog spot, so go check those out. I'll have all the links down below for you. Just click on show more. Till next time, guys. Bye.